All right. It's been a pretty challenging week. This point in camp, the guys are pushing hard. I thought yesterday it was hot out there, and the kids they practiced really hard. It was a very physical day, very solid practice. Went back in shells today, worked some situational stuff. It's now it's kind of dialing in for Saturday, preparing for our last good action. And, the last kind of evaluations on, everything from all three phases personnel-wise before we start preparing for our opener.
How are the guys bouncing back from the scrimmage last Saturday, and how are they kind of learning from the mistakes?
Well, I think bouncing back, it's camp, and that's the challenge is bouncing back. It's, you go from, summer running and all that to practicing, and it's 6 days a week and 1 day off, and the recovery's short, and so bouncing back is a challenge right now. I think as far as learning from their mistakes, I thought we came out yesterday and did a lot of things well that we didn't do well on Saturday, so I think we're making some progress there. Continuing to push through the week. Defensively, we're doing a lot of stuff right now, which is good. But it's a challenge right now getting ready for everything offensively.
How do you guys as coaches balance if a player, maybe he's not feeling 100%, but he's trying his best to work through that and try to evaluate where he fits in if he's not maybe moving at 100%?
Well, I think that's the thing. We've had some sniffles go through us, here during camp. So you've had a lot of guys practice when they weren't feeling great, and I got respect for kids that push through and do that. I think when a kid's got a cold or something like that, he shows you a lot about who he is, by how he goes out and pushes. So I think it's it's a fine line though, because at the end of the day, nobody really feels good. Mason didn't sleep hardly any Friday night, and under the weather a little bit on Saturday, but nobody cares. You got to go out there and play, and so it's one of those things where you just got to kind of take it, one day at a time, and kind of see who they are over the balance of the whole camp.
Speed was a pretty big identity of the offense last year, obviously, but now you have guys like Josiah stepping into a bigger role. We saw Brock Spalding do some good things on Saturday. What is it about these young guys that try and replace some of that?
Well, I think you got some guys in the receiving core that have really good speed. Where's Josiah, Carey, or Jari, or whomever. So I think you do have, you're probably a little bit faster in that group than you were last year. In the backfield, Keaton was a dynamic, explosive player. So it's not like you can clone him and bring another one along. But I think we're solid at the running back position. Rajay is. He is. I said it the first day we had contact, and he's continued through camp. You can't tell that he ever had an injury. He hadn't missed a step. Marlon's probably a little bit quicker than he was a year ago. I think Javius Bond does bring some home run ability there, but he's just a freshman.
Game prep starts next week. How important are these final few days in the scrimmage as far as guys who are trying to make that depth chart and kind of get
right?
That spot?
They're critical. I've told them that they are critical. You're making your last decisions this week on, who's going to get reps on the special teams, and who's going to get reps, offensively and defensively. Who's going to be on the look teams, and that stuff is evaluated all throughout the season. It's not like it's the cutoff. It's not quite like the NFL where it's cut day or anything like that. You're going to have guys that don't play early in the season that will play later in the season. We've seen that every year, but. There's a lot at stake here this week for those fringe guys.
Does that apply as much to the kicking and the punting game, or is that more of a up until game day kind of thing?
Well, I think you do that one. That one probably is going to go a touch longer, just because that's a pretty easily measured kind of metric right there. As far as you either make the kick or you don't. Your op time is what it is. That kind of stuff, but I do put a lot into what they're doing this week, because in the stadium last week I thought we were very, very good, and so if we can have that same kind of performance this week, then you feel good, no matter who it is.
How has Archer, the punter transfer, been this far?
I think he's been very good. He has a very strong leg. He's a veteran guy. He's played a lot. The challenge with him is the consistency stuff. But I think here with us, he's been very consistent. So it's been a competition. I think it's brought out the best in Luke and the other specialists. You know, they have performed very well, but I think it's been because of the competition that Archer's brought.
A guy you mentioned a couple of times this fall camp is Siobhan Rebel. Is he continuing to impress as fall camp goes along?
Absolutely. I mean, he's a very talented young man. He's having a very good camp. The thing that impresses me most is just how he goes about his business. You know, he's always in the training room getting treatment and recovery. He's doing a great job with his body. He's doing extra stuff in the weight room with stretching and mobility. You know, he's always making sure he's walking around with this thing of water, making sure he's hydrated. He does not take plays off of practice. So, you know, he's conducting himself like a real pro.
When you guys get ready for Saturday, we all kind of go through like a mock pre-game type of deal, like it's almost like a real game day with being the final big scrimmage before.
Yeah, we'll work on that this weekend, and then next week we'll have a mock game where we'll work sidelines, because obviously we're on two separate sidelines Saturday. So, you know, we'll do our flex routine this weekend, and then next week we'll work a game day simulation, so you can work substitutions, special teams, sideline protocols, you know, all the stuff, which is mainly for the new guys. You know, the veteran guys, nothing really changes. It's, you know, they've been around, but the new guys, they got to figure out how to operate on the sideline.
Anything else for Coach?
All right, thanks a lot.
Thank you.